All right, should we watch this one? This is I tried League of Legends as a hater, so I'm assuming this is a guy that's like never played League before. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. I would assume that being a League player in this day and age is miserable. I mean, the only new player that I've coached recently is Zaryu, and he found it pretty tough. I mean, like, there's a really big difference coming to this game if you've never played, like, an RTS or a MOBA before. I think if you played RTS, you'd be fine. But, like, if you come from some game that's, like, mostly about fighting as opposed to, like, you know, income and stuff, I think it'd be, you know, really difficult to pick up.
When I was 14, I tried League of Legends for the first time. And like most people that start playing this game, I absolutely hated it.
It is insufferable to be new at this game.
What the actual are you doing? You're so fucking bad!
Dude, that I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. That's like Yamakaze. I think he was in Korea, and I can't remember what his team did, but they like didn't hit the Nexus or something. That's like the biggest league crash out of all time.
And everything changes constantly.
To give you some perspective, League has 169 champions. Each champion comes with 5 unique abilities. If we do some simple math, we end up with a fucking ridiculous number. And that's just the beginning. Over 200 items, 14 years of competitive history. People who've been playing the game before some high schoolers were even born. What I'm trying to say is that League of Legends has been out for way too long. And when the game has been one of the most popular titles for 16 years, you have some of the most painful experiences to deal with as a new player. Oh my god! No!
He's playing Lux 1v1s in ARAM.
Fucking play this game. God fucking damn.
He's got 79 CS, 17 minutes. Dude, I really wish I could see my first games of League. Like, it's so long ago, and obviously, like, I didn't record it or anything. But I'd love to see my very first game of League. I think they would have been a hell of a lot worse than this.
Rules are pretty simple. Get to level 30 within 14 days.
Wait, level 30 in 14 days? That's actually kind of, like, he's gonna have to grind, no? I feel like level 30, like, takes a while now.
The punishment for failing is to ask my gym crush out. I picked this punishment because it's probably the last thing a League player would do. And thus began 2 weeks of absolute pain and suffering that would maybe eventually lead to me asking out my gym crush. Since it isn't my first time playing this game, I'm just going to skip over the tutorial, which meant I had to pick a role and a champion to play. Upon doing some research, I found out the most optimal role for learning was mid lane. And for the champion,
mid lane,
I picked Akali.
That's probably true.
She's hot. Upon playing my very first game, I realized this challenge was going to be way harder than I thought. The MOBA genre was something...
That's me! Guys, do you guys recognize that guy?
And coming from FPS games, this was a completely different environment. I had to learn concepts like creep score, items, wave management. And while I was playing, I even had a hard time trying to find my character model when I was in a big team fight.
So scary, man.
Yeah, holy moly. If you've never played, like, a top-down game, like, I'm just imagining, like, if you came from something like... If you came from an FPS, or... I think that'd be the worst it could ever be. Like, if you came from, like, Counter-Strike, or... I don't know, like, Valorant or something to League, I cannot imagine, you know, the pay. Also, look at this, bro. Holy shit, this is the new player experience. Akali with Ghost Heal, he's got 2 pots at 42 minutes, and he's got 8,000 gold. Holy shit. I mean, that's so funny. That is so funny. I mean, like I said, man, I'm sure I've done worse. Like, I really wish I could see my first games.
And with a game like League, where games usually last upwards of 20 minutes, and you pick a character like Akali, who is one of the hardest champions in the game, you're kind of stuck on the character until the game is over. And that feeling is worse when the game almost ends up taking an hour. I'm so close, man. I knew Akali wasn't the play, so I decided to pick an easier character to grasp the very basics. Yeah, that's definitely not it. Vex turned out to be a good option because her abilities were quite simple, and the game ended up going a lot better than my last one.
Okay, nice.
I quickly racked up a bunch of kills, which was quite surprising, but it was up until a certain point when I realized the game was not progressing. How is a swift play game taking 50
Oh wait, he's playing
So
Swift Play.
naturally,
That's why
I
he
was
has so much
curious as
gold.
to what my teammates were doing.
Oh my god. What the hell?
What the hell is this Master Yi doing? That was when I realized I might be playing against the bots.
Oh wait, I didn't even realize, bro. I thought that was a real dude. I thought he was just confused the dread. Oh yeah, I guess that is like what happens when you're a new player. Like you just get put in the games where people are like leveling up all these botted accounts. That's crazy. Yeah, I never even thought of that. I bet that's like really common too.
The lane by myself, and when I saw this Malphite standing there, I was
Oh my
sure these were
god.
bots.
Yeah.
I don't know which is worse, not knowing these are bot players or actually like losing against them. Like these people felt like real people to me. But upon finding out, there was also this feeling that if I was struggling this much against bots, then I basically won't survive against real players. On day 2, I wanted to try a different character, specifically an assassin. So I decided to pick Fizz, and I got my ass kicked so hard I went 2 for 13.
Ooh.
Yo, jungler, bro, help!
Joe Jungler. Oh my god. That is funny, man. That's actually sick. Alright, we gotta finish watching that video. That's a banger. Dude, I love this. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that, like, we take for granted, right? Like, or not, like, for granted, but, you know, just, like, so ingrained in us. Like, we look at this and it's like, holy moly. Like, fighting in a creep wave this big when you're level 1 is crazy. But, like, again, if you're new to the game, like, you probably don't even realize that. Like, if you've never played a MOBA before, you probably have no idea how broken the creeps are early. You know, it's the kind of thing that you do just have to learn, like, the hard way. You do just have to get punished once for it. And, I mean, probably a few times to really realize, like, where the damage is coming from. Like, even this, you might be like, oh, wow, Saz just does tons of damage, right?
So hard, I went
Not
2
realizing
for
the creeps
13.
are just
Yo, jungler,
blasting you. Also, the Ghost Heal is a banger.
I kind of realized
Do you only have Ghost Heal at the start? Like, maybe you can't even take other champs. Or other sums, I mean.
jumping between many characters was probably just about the worst decision I could ever make. Just because there was so much I didn't know, and when you don't even understand what warding is, you're kind of better off sticking to one champion. So I just went back to Vex. At this point, I just found out a very important part of getting more money is whether you're able to get the finishing blow on a minion. Apparently, it was a concept called last hitting. I wasn't very good at it.
Oh my god, he's learning.
And the fact
He's
that I
evolving.
was playing against real players this time didn't make it any better. It was day 2 and I already wanted to quit. I couldn't play anymore, so I decided to take a break and started complaining to my friend about how hard this game was. That was until he decided to check my match history and realized I was playing against iron players. Reality quickly set in. Now, I didn't give myself a skill bracket I had to reach, but I knew if I wanted to at least enjoy my time until I got to level 30, I would need to improve. That was when I concluded I would need to get some help.
Dude, I think that right there, actually, like, it's probably kind of a, like, a little bit of a meme or whatever, but I bet that's really common. I think it's probably really, really difficult to start playing League if you don't have a friend. You know, like, there actually isn't much educational content that's aimed at, like, pure beginners. Most of it's, like, aimed at, you know, like, I mean, my content, for example, I don't think is aimed at beginners. I'm going to dodge this game, by the way. I don't want to play it. I'd have to play AP, and, if we're 3 AP, like, we fucking lost, so. We'll just watch this. Yeah, so I can't imagine, like, where do you even go? Because, like, that guy had one of my videos on early in the video, and it's, like, honestly, you know, I don't think my videos are really made for people that are, like, totally new to the game. And there's no, like, League tutorial, or, like, there is, but it's not very good, right? I know a lot of people have kind of criticized Riot for that, but I can't remember where I saw this. Or maybe I read it somewhere. I can't remember, but I remember reading or seeing somewhere that having a tutorial that was too long was actually bad because, like, people wanted to just get into the game. And if the tutorial was too long and too complex, they would just start playing the game, basically. Or, sorry, they would stop playing the game because, like, they just couldn't be bothered, right? And I think one thing that, like, RTSs do really well is they have something like a campaign. right? Like, the campaign is kind of like a tutorial in a lot of ways, but it's also like a story experience. So there's tons of people that play RTS purely for, like, the single-player experience, right? Like, think of things like the Warcraft 3 campaign, right? Like an old-timer. But, like, that teaches you a lot about, like, the different units and the mechanics and stuff, but it's, like, fun at the same time. I think, like, League probably needs something like that, like, some sort of, like, single-player, or not, like, PvE experience that, like, teaches you the game. Didn't StarCraft have the story tutorial? Yeah, they like, the first few missions of each campaign is kind of the same thing. Like, they kind of get you up to speed with stuff. So I think rather than League making this, like, really in-depth tutorial with, like, a bunch of different sections and stuff, I would way rather they just created, you know, something within the game. Even if it were just, like, I don't know, like, a few missions that you could play, you know, or something. I mean, the thing is, like, they'd have to put a lot of effort into it, which is probably why it won't happen. Because I think that if you make one of those and it's bad, then again, they feel like they're just forced to play. You know, they're just, like, forced to play something they don't actually want to. But I think if it's done well, that can be a really, really good way to, like, get people to play the game and, like, learn the game without it being so miserable.
Yo. Hello? Yeah? You're pretty good at League, right?
Only the second coming of Faker.
Oh my god, what rank is his friend?
Dumb. You want to coach me?
Yeah, I'm not.
This is Fuzzy. He's an Emerald player, and
Emerald?
this guy is basically the best League player I know. He decided to watch me while I played, but first he wanted me to make a pretty big change.
Wait, have you played Lux?
Oh my god, he's an Emerald Lux player? Are we fucking trolling? Oh my god. Okay, look, just in case this guy ever sees this video, I'm sure your friend's a great guy. But, look, if you're an Emerald Lux player, okay, that's a pretty big red flag, okay? That is a massive red flag.
In Lux mid.
Yeah.
At first, I was honestly quite skeptical of switching champions, but I decided to give it a shot, and upon my first game, things were looking good.
Okay, he is flashing
Come again,
knight.
bro. Come again, bro. Come. Come on.
Oh,
Ignite. Fuck you, bitch.
he got him.
So that's your flash. That's your flash.
Yep. Oh, that's my flash. Well, not that
What?
good,
Oh,
but
he pressed flash instead of ignite. I thought he just, like, flashed because he's an alpha male. I don't know. I love C. What's up? Yeah, no, that was Chad.
still a very big improvement. And
Yeah,
I know
no
I
kidding.
skipped a lot of this, but before I asked for coaching, I actually went on a very big losing streak, where my KDA literally never went above 1. So it felt really good when I started getting a bunch of kills.
Damn.
Fuck you. God damn. And as this game came to a close, it felt like a weight was finally lifted off my shoulders. After that game, Fuzzy gave me way more tips, where to find optimal builds for item and runes,
Oh, that'll
combos,
help.
and even a little bit on macro. At the time, I had a ton of trouble last hitting, so I was given an exercise.
Yeah, you should boot up like a practice, and then try to like for 10 minutes, for the first 10 minutes, just try to like farm minions and try to get like 70.
Oh my god, that's such a
70s,
classic.
yes.
If you can get 70 in 10 minutes, then you're kind of chilling. And don't use abilities unless you have to.
I honestly did not expect to do
Oh, it
well,
actually did pretty
but
well.
I was about to be proven wrong. 68. 5
Dude,
seconds.
that's like really
5
good,
seconds, 5 seconds. Fuck.
right? Slime?
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah,
Fuck, 68. I failed, but it was pretty close for my first time. And he decided to coach me for a couple more of my games. And before I ended the call, I wanted to do one last thing. Let's 1v1.
Yeah.
Let's 1v1.
I'll come to your.
1v1 me, Lux. Rules were to play 5 games, and if I won
5
even one,
games?
I would be the winner. Honestly, I didn't expect to win, but this was very, very
Oh my god, the
bad.
creeps.
Tanking videos, you're tanking videos.
Holy moly.
I kept dying for dumb reasons, which I genuinely have no excuse for.
What? You're stepping in it. No, you're gonna die to it.
I was too focused on hitting you.
I mean,
And then this
dude,
guy-
when you're new to League, like, I mean, people talk about like things like map awareness and stuff, right? But like, there's so many things to be aware of. Like, so many things that you probably don't even realize you have to be aware of. It's just like, I don't know. It's a really overwhelming game, right? Like, even though you only have to control one character, there's so many other things that like interact with you, right? Like, I remember before I played League, I came from StarCraft, right? And I thought League was going to be like completely piss easy because you only had to control one champion instead of like all these other characters, right? All these other units in StarCraft. And I think, you know, obviously the like individual control is like a little easier, but there's also like the fact that you're playing with so many other people that like you're not on comms with, like you don't know what they're doing, makes it really, really difficult. And even on your screen, there actually might be more things on your screen in any given moment compared to StarCraft, unless you're in like a really, really big fight. Do you hear them saying that mid is a beginner role? I think so. I do, because like if you think about the roles, think of it like this. So AD carry, not beginner friendly at all, right? The champs are just too hard. They're way too difficult. So I don't think you can play AD carry. Support is probably the easiest role to pick up, but the problem with starting with support is that you'll never be able to play anything else. Or when you do, it's going to be like really miserable because, you know, you don't learn things like having to CS and you don't really, I don't know, you don't get punished as hard for making mistakes. So I wouldn't go support. Jungle, I think jungle, like basic jungling is pretty easy, but you know, it's a very different game from the rest of League. So like if you start with jungle, I wouldn't expect you to be able to go to the other roles. And top lane, I think top lane's not too unforgiving. Like top lane has obviously like really hard matchups and stuff, but I think like, you know, if you played an easy mid champ or an easy top champ, I think they'd be like roughly the same. I guess the biggest difference is that like the mid laners have wave clear. And so like if you really fall behind, you can clear from your turret, like on Lux, for example. Whereas like if you fall behind on Mundo, you know, like realistically, you're not killing any crates from your side of the map, right? So yeah, I actually do think mid's the best role for beginners.
Pull some secret technique out of his ass.
I'll show you magic right here. Oh.
Oh my god, the R flash.
What was that?
Oh my god.
Score was 5-0, and I really wanted to beat Fuzzy at least once. So I'm going to 1v1 him again when I reach level 30, and if I lose again, then I'm going to get slapped with a tortilla wrap. On day 4, things were finally going well.
With a tortilla wrap, okay. It's pretty base.
Okay,
nice.
I went on my very first win streak of 3 games, which honestly didn't feel that great. The main reason for that
Oh my god,
because
such a League experience, bro. Losing feels so much worse than winning feels good. Oh, I love that. He's man, this guy really did get the new player experience. That's crazy. Would you say mid is a role with low skill floor and high ceiling? Yeah.
I started to pay attention to grades, and I consistently got a D- across all my games. I felt absolutely useless, so I wanted to make a change. It turns out, it's measured based on how the average player performs on 3 main metrics: your KDA, your creep score, and your vision score. At the time, the only thing I could instantly improve was my vision score, because I did not ward, and just by placing them down, my grade went up to a C. Okay, so I'm
That's
getting
so funny.
C's now,
Just cheesing it.
which are great.
He should just place all the
I'm
wards in the
fucking
fountain.
losing games, which is not fun. Upon trying to improve my grade, I started to realize how much I had to do. Missing CS is apparently a big deal, and when you have to dodge and hit skill shots at the same time, that was when things started to get a bit messy for me. As I began to play against better players, it didn't take me long before I went on an even bigger losing streak with some of the worst stats ever. And I really could not get the concept of last hitting down. I'm actually cooked, man. Like, how do I know which fucking tower, like, which minion it's the target? I mean, which minion's the fucking...
Oh my god, 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 dude, make it stop, make it stop! Make it fucking stop!
since I was actually losing brain cells playing this game
Oh,
mode,
wait, can ARAM.
I decided to play a few games of ARAM.
Yeah, actually
It was
good
a
idea.
good change of pace because I was stuck on Lux, and with ARAM, you're pretty much given a bunch of random characters to play. ARAM was also way easier than normals, probably because everyone is forced to play a random character, but it also didn't take me long to realize that I wasn't
Hey, he's
actually
performing on
learning
Flame.
much. So I went back to normals, this time wanting to try a different role, and I was honestly expecting a different outcome, but I was quickly met with reality.
Wait, is he playing support
the
with no
fuck?
support item?
How did I die? At this point, I could feel the game
I
actually
think he
like,
is.
changing my personality in a worse way. I just got so angry playing
Oh,
this
that
game.
is so true, by the way. League brings out the worst in, like, just about everyone. I know a few people that are, like, super nice in real life, like, would never say anything, like, rude or whatever, but, like, you get them on the Rift, and holy moly, like, they will be handing out some free coaching, you know? I'm not going to name any names, but some of you, if you played, like, Pro League, like, you might know who I'm talking about. It's actually insane, you know? It is crazy what this game does to people.
Fucking help me, dude. Are you fucking dumb? It was also at this point when I realized I was playing against literal level 700s, which makes no sense.
Yeah, that is actually
Why would
kinda
you put a
wild.
level 18 and a level 700 in the same game? The next day, I decided to
Oh
watch
my
a few guides before.
Bro, he keeps watching me. Bro, dude, I need to make some more, like, beginner content. Like, I'm looking at this, and, like, honestly, guys, like, these are... I did not aim my videos at people that have, like, never played the game before. That's pretty sick.
Hopping into some games.
Oh
And
my
after
god,
learning
guys, can we just appreciate that play for a sec? Can we just do that again?
Tense. Why would you put the same game? The next day, I decided to watch a few guides before hopping into some games.
Oh my god,
And
I'm
after
goated.
learning a bunch of basics on character control, it felt like I finally figured something out. Even though I lost, this was actually the first time I had an even amount of kills and deaths. I thought, maybe things would get easier. Maybe that mechanics video was what I actually needed
Oh,
to
that's
start
so
doing
cute,
well.
man.
And just when that feeling started to set in, League went back to the shitty game that it is. What the fuck,
True,
man?
true and real
Like,
and
all
based.
of a sudden, the whole team is here. Yeah, put all the new fucking players on our team. Yeah, put all the fucking new players on our team. Yeah, put all the fucking new players on our team, including me, bro.
Dude, Garen's just pushing
Dumbass
mid and
game.
ending. Pushing top and ending.
I could not catch a break. Terrible servers, terrible matchups, terrible stats. Just take a look at my match history. 6 fucking
Oh, that is
losses
a
in
rumble
row.
ult. That is a
Every
rumble
time I
ult.
loaded up this game, I was met with nothing good. I still had 12 levels to go through, and I was beginning to think that this was not worth all the suffering I was going through.
Yeah.
So I was
No, honestly, dude, like this, I think this is probably what all those people that started playing League because of Arcane, this is probably what happened. You know, like I think that there probably were a lot of people that wanted to try League, but dude, like if this happens to you, especially if you're getting flamed at the same time, you know, like, because that's pretty common, right? Like you're gonna get flamed for doing this. I don't know if he has like chat off or whatever, but like that's just insane, you know? Like how is anyone gonna get into the game like this? Unless you like really want to play with your friends, or you know, you're like, there's a baddie you know in real life that plays League and you're like trying to get good to impress her, but she's like, you know, she's diamond and you think you can be diamond, you know, like I think unless like there's something that like is really gonna make you commit, or like making a video, for example, like it's gonna be so hard to stick with. Like it doesn't surprise me at all that new players don't really pick up League.
genuinely ready to quit. Well, that was until an update came through, which made it so that the XP earned per game increased by 40%,
Ooh,
which
okay.
kept me going. Mel was also just released, and oh my god, that character is broken. Fucking
Yeah, that
skill
would
shot
be
of the size of the sun, bro.
that would
Like,
be
is
pretty
that, is that
cancer.
fair? Playing this matchup was possibly the worst thing ever. I pretty much lost every time I went against the Mel, and it was so frustrating, I considered moving over to draft pick just so I could ban Mel every single game. It was also day 10 and I was only level 19, and with my school semester starting, I would not have enough time to get to level 30. So, I kind of decided to cheat.
What do you do? You buy XP boost?
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a 3-day boost.
Oh my god.
And I'm gonna spam games until I reach level 30. This period was probably the most boring time period for me, but I was getting ganked a lot, which was really annoying. So
This guy's getting the mid lane experience. Does this? Oh my god, I can't believe even new players are getting this. Look, I'm sorry. If there's any new players watching this, I'm afraid it does not get better. Mid lane is the, it's like the community meeting ground, you know? It's the town hall of the Rift. Being Apex here guaranteed you a baddie? If only.
To do some research, which eventually led to the discovery of jungle tracking.
Oh,
From
did he watch my video?
understanding, Jungle tracking is basically a way to predict where the jungler is at certain times of the map, so you know when to expect a gank. And the moment I decided to look deeper into it, I realized there was no way I would be able to do this.
Yeah, that sounds a
In
bit
other words,
tough.
because my bot lane leashed and their wave is even, we know that the enemy bot lane had to leash as well, which means the enemy Zac is...
Oh my god. Clear times, pathing, invades. You literally have to be
Yeah.
Sherlock fucking Holmes to do this. That was way too advanced, so the only thing I decided to focus on was to keep track of where the jungler started, and then warding the opposite side.
Yes,
whenever
dude,
my wave
I swear he watched my video, bro. That's what I say. That is the easiest way to do it. Nowadays, like the jungler solo starts, so you can't really tell anymore. But the way to do this these days is to just ward on the side that your jungler is going to be on. So like if your jungler starts bot, just like ward your top side. Like that way your ward will be like on the same side and like everything will be good.
pushed up.
When I was level 19, I was a complete driller. Yeah, no, this guy's like way ahead of where I was. I'm pretty sure when I was level 19, I was playing Morgana mid, and I'm pretty sure I had no idea what was going on. I think I was just like Wing waves on cooldown, which was giving me a lot of farm, and I think that was, yeah, that was making me win some games.
I spent a couple of games trying to implement this, but I just couldn't because my brain was still overloaded with information, and I realized I had to look at the map like every 5 seconds for this to actually work.
Oh, League's so hard,
The worst
man.
part was that half the time, no one comes for the gank anyway. But while I was trying to make this work, there was one game where everything was going well.
Nice.
I was racking up kills. I died the least out of every single game I played, and my CS was probably the highest it had ever been. I got my very first A that game,
Ooh,
and I
not
felt
bad.
proud of myself. After so many trials and tribulations, I finally had one game where something didn't go wrong. This was when I started thinking to myself, this was going to be the turning point. After so many days of suffering, I would finally be able to have something to show for it. Maybe I would finally be able to have fun.
Sure not.
If that clip confused you, this moment was taken one day in the future. So let's rewind a bit and see how exactly I got here. Well, to start off, that game had me feeling really good about myself.
Sorry.
So I turned on chat, expecting
Oh,
that I
no.
would at least get some good comms.
Oh my god, no.
That was the worst mistake I had ever made in my life. I don't know what I was expecting because nothing productive was ever said. And to add to that, the difficulty spiked so hard I wanted to load up Train Simulator. These people were just on a completely different level. They were so good, they started to like flash my skill shots.
Oh my god, what the hell?
God. What the? I got shit on the entire time, and now that I'd enabled
was a
chat,
4-0-0
I was getting
with, like,
flamed
real
over and
CS.
over until I decided to turn it off again. And just like that, 10 games went by. 9 of them were straight losses, and the one we won, I was just straight up carried by my team. It is honestly beyond me at this point. It's been crash out after crash out after crash out, and to this day, I still ask myself why I decided to waste 14 days of my life playing this game. With that being said, there was only a day left, and I had
Alright,
run
let's
out
see
of
how the
my
last
3-day
day
boost.
went.
I was level 28, which meant I could probably squeeze in a couple more hours in the last day, but that was too much to ask for.
Yeah, so I ran out of XP, so so I'm just gonna go buy more.
Oh, he's gonna buy another
Since
one.
It was the last day, I wanted to try something different. I decided to spend the remainder of my time in draft pick just to experience what it was like.
Is he gonna ban
Also,
Mel?
I just wanted to ban Mel every game so I wouldn't play against her. I was honestly expecting it to be way harder than Swift play. From what I heard, draft pick was basically swift play, but without the training wheels. You get less of basically everything, and the rules are way less forgiving. I was honestly bracing myself for the worst. I knew I definitely wouldn't have a good time, but it was the final push anyway, and I thought I would end this challenge with the full experience. So I went in for my first ever draft pick game, and then I had a decent time. The matchmaking actually felt balanced.
Yeah, I wonder if there is different
matchups
MMR.
were varied, and even though there were games where I felt frustrated, I wasn't performing the worst on the team anymore. And now that I'm here editing this video, I found the matchmaking for Swift Play is probably the most fucked up thing ever.
I bet that
Nearly
is
every
true.
single player I went against were all at least level 100, or they were...
Like, I think the way that they do this with the MMRs, they have like a range of like what ELOs or like MMRs can be in your game. And I bet that Swift Play, just because it's meant to be like you queue up and you get a game fast and like, you know, you just get it over with. I bet that Swift Play has like a really like generous band, you know, to where like you probably can just get matched with people that, you know, either like don't play Swift Play and so have like no MMR at all, or are just like quite a bit higher MMR above you. Whereas I feel like Draft Pick probably has it quite a bit better.
Smurfs. Meanwhile, every single player in Draft Pick was around my level. I've been playing the wrong game mode this entire time. I started to feel really bad for myself because the games were actually going well.
Oh yeah, he's smurfing.
I felt like I was finally progressing. I didn't have to worry about instantly exploding on the spot, so I could try out different things, which led to me discovering that I could poke people with my auto attacks rather than just using my abilities. And as I played the last game of this challenge, I had fun. I had more fun in that single game than every single game I had played throughout the challenge combined. But now that it had ended, there was only one thing awaiting me.
Alright.
Just to...
Oh, here's 1v1 again.
Let's see what you learned,
Alright,
bro.
alright.
Let's see what you learned.
Alright, let me restate the rules. Like, if I win one time out of like 5 games, then I win, okay? I'm gonna come out and say this right now. It wasn't even remotely close.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
kind
what I
of
was
sad.
thinking, believing I could beat someone with over 5,000 hours in the game with just 2 weeks of experience.
That was kind of close.
You could tell he wasn't serious this entire time. He was just kind of making weird sounds and taunting me.
I was happy.
That was not
Almost
close, don't lie. And then it came to a close. No!
That's kind of close.
And since I had lost, it could only mean one thing.
I only get to do it once.
Is that his gym crush?
You want to slap me twice?
Oh no, this is
So
the rap.
since Fuzzy is in the US and I'm over here in Hong Kong, he can't exactly slap me with a tortilla, so I got a substitute.
Cause like if I you know how I did it just now, right?
What the fuck?
Dude, no.
Wait, it's a
Two is
double
crazy.
up?
2 is crazy. 2 is crazy. 2 is crazy. Two is crazy. Like it's gonna break.
So this is Ganem. All you need to know about this guy is that he is one brutal motherfucker, and he has been looking forward to this moment ever since I told him about it.
Are you ready? Yeah.
Is he gonna backhand him?
Oh fuck!
Now this is the part where I should say I walked away. That I quit while I was ahead and
Oh,
never
he's a good
touched
friend,
ranks.
man. He checked on him.
I wanted to stop. I should have stopped. But curiosity is a fickle thing, isn't it? If only I'd known about the deep, endless abyss that lay ahead. The warnings were all there. They were always there. So why did I ignore them?
Oh my god, he queued up? Oh no, he's gonna make... Wait, has he made a new one? Hold on, we gotta check right now. Oh, he's made them for each role. Oh, that'll be interesting. We can watch some of those sometime. That was a really good video, though. I'll link this... I'll link it to you guys. Yeah, that was a super good video. I think, like... I don't know, the new player experience is so cooked. Like, it must be so difficult as a new player. I really do think it's, like, Riot... I don't know... I know you guys said, like, they're making a new tutorial or whatever, but I think they've got to... There's, like, a lot of things they've got to do. Like, I think that they really do need to, like, streamline the new player experience from, like, literally level 1 to, like, level 30, you know? They've really got to make sure that there's, like, no Smurfs in the queues. You know, maybe there's even a new player queue. I would say chat off. Some games have, like, mentor systems. I don't know if that would work in League, but I know... I think it's Final Fantasy has, like, a mentor system, and apparently it's really good. So maybe they could try something like that as well. But yeah, that was a super sick video. And I think, honestly, that is exactly how I imagine the new player experience to be, you know? Like, I think it must just be miserable. Riot's trying their best to make it easy for new players. WASD ability preview. Yeah, I just don't... I honestly don't think those are the problems, you know? Like, for example, does the ability preview do something? Yeah, it's probably, like, better than nothing. But, like, you know, his biggest problem, or, like, what he kind of felt like his biggest problem was, is that he is playing against players that are just, like, better than him, you know? Like, pretty much the whole time. And it's, like, super miserable. And he, you know, like, you're basically just thrown in the deep end and told to, like, stick with it, even though you're going, like, 0-10 and losing every game, you know? Like, who the fuck's gonna do that? Who's gonna stick with that? I think they need to make it, like, way more gradual. Again, either with, like, a PvE experience or, like, bots or, I don't know, something to make that not so steep. Because, like, yeah, it's a hard game. It's been out a while. Like, it's always going to be difficult. But, I don't know. I don't think it needs to be so bad. And, like, for me, you know, even if I were winning, if I played, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 games and just, like, couldn't figure out what's going on, or I was, like, dying all the time, I'd probably stop, you know? Again, I'll give you a good example. So, really recently, I played Deadlock, and the first game I played of Deadlock, I played Vindicta, which I think is kind of like Widowmaker, and I honestly just had no clue what was going on. I got, like, 0 kills, and some guy on my team went, like, 19-0, you know? Now, I was playing with a friend, so it's like, you know, I was going to stick with it because I wanted to play with him. But if I were playing that solo and, you know, I got 0 kills and the game just, like, didn't really make sense or whatever, like, I just couldn't understand how to kill people, especially when in a game like League, it's a lot more, like, complicated how to kill people than it is in an FPS, you know, I probably would just stop playing. And it's like, again, do things like ability previews really solve the main issues? I wouldn't say so. I don't think it does. This is really interesting, though. I mean, I'm going to make a video really soon about how to, or not how to, but, like, why League is so difficult to learn. And maybe I should start making some, like, beginner League of Legends content. I'm not sure.